You're listening to the Clarity Cloud podcast, where we bring our intentions to fruition and wake our creativity out of hibernation. I'm your host, Angie Mason. Together, we are the seekers, we are the dreamers, dreaming ourselves awake.
Gray skies, black heart, I need to find some other part. I need clarity, I want some clarity. I need blue skies and clear heart.
Okay, I'm back. It's the Clarity Cloud podcast. It's Angie Mason, your host, and I wanted to talk to you about so many things, and there is so little time, right? I mean, it feels like everything is shifting and changing, and things still feel uncertain. I feel like since 2020 and on, everything's uncertain, and I have no clear vision for myself, just personally speaking, what I'm doing. I'm just making stuff. I'm just painting and drawing and creating all these things with no real clear end goal in mind right now. It used to be a lot of times that I would be doing gallery shows. Now I know a lot of people still do gallery shows and museum shows, whatever they're doing. For me, I don't know why, I just shifted out of it. And I'm not sure where I am right now that I'm shifting back into it or not. I'm not opposed to it. It's just, I'm kind of sitting and being in this uncertain place. There's so many weird things that are happening in the world too, in regard to creativity that you're witnessing, that we're all witnessing. Let's talk about AI. That whole AI-generated art experience is bizarre. I'll put it straight out. I tried it. It's really weird. It's weird because I felt this strange... You get a certain number of free tries, first of all, on Midjourney, and some other platforms as well I've tried. They give you free trial. I tried it, and emotionally, I felt a little empty afterwards. This is all my personal experience. There was an emptiness I felt, a frustration I felt, because you're putting in these prompts, and now if I paid for the tool, I realized after the fact that if I tweaked some things, I could have maybe even merged with the AI even more, because I felt like this, when I was doing it, there was a strange feeling of working with this AI machine, this algorithm, really, when you're producing something sort of like a collaboration, because you're putting in the prompts, the words, and you feel like you're art directing this machine. You kind of start to feel merged with the machine in a moment, and it's kind of strange. And even witnessing other people I know who do these prompts and generated art, I can see their personality, how they're sort of trying to manipulate the algorithm to do the thing that they want to see. And that's where I start to think about singularity and AI and just the future of humanity in relation to robots. Also, it made me think of the nothing in the never-ending story, how the nothing stole everyone's imaginations and dreams and desire to dream. And I feel like, to me, it feels a bit like the nothing. When I keep seeing people just putting in prompts, and it's so easy. You just put in the prompts, and then this image comes out. When will humans just not care to dreaming up their own ideas anymore? They'll just put in prompts and let the algorithm do it. How does that affect our natural ability to dream and imagine things? And is it going to hurt us in the end? Is it going to hurt us in the end when, say, maybe robots become sentient and they could just generate the art on their own and they don't need us? And what are we left with? How do we face our own humanity or, imaginations that have been sort of stolen from us? Are we able to... I always felt, okay, I'm going to jump here. I always felt like artwork was really beautiful because it was a symbol of humanity. It was something created by humans with, yes, aids and technology. You have computers and programs that people use all these years going forward, and everything's technology. I mean, paintbrush and a paint tube, a tube of paint, everything. I know. Canvases, it's all tools and technology that have gotten us here. But it's coming, these creations that we do come working with our hands and our eyes and our minds and our hearts. So then how, it just feels removed. It feels quite removed when I tried it with just the prompts. It was, like I said, it left me feeling a little empty. So going forward, how will the value of human art versus AI art be, I guess, how will it be grouped together or not, or separated or rated, or I don't know. The importance of human-made art versus AI art, I feel like they should be separated. You think about these AI-generated art that was included in an art show and won. That's not really, that's a whole different beast. It's not human. And it shouldn't be in the same category. It just shouldn't. Now, if you want to have an AI-generated art contest with people who are trying to make the coolest AI-generated prompts to do what they want it to do, what they imagine it to look like, what they feel like it should look like, it should be its own separate thing. In my opinion. I'll always put in my opinion because, we all have different says and things, and I am not putting my beliefs onto anyone else. This is just how I feel right now. And things shift and change. And like I said, I'm always open to trying things and seeing how they work and what goes on. And this particular thing was a little disturbing because it really felt the fun part of creation was stolen from me. And all I was doing was, like I said, art directing a machine and not even sure what I was going to come out and see, like what I was going to get. I could just kind of give it like prompts, like directions, like go this path, go down this way and see what you make. And you could keep tweaking the prompts and keep pushing things and I guess changing the words or whatnot to make it more specific to what you're kind of envisioning based on what your results that you get. And that's where you start to feel, or I felt, the connection between human and AI and this sort of singularity of just merging my mind with this machine and how it outputs this image. But it also left me feeling empty. I didn't, it took seconds. It wasn't the process of filling out, drawing a character or sketching it and then bringing it to life with paint and doing that whole process. And then I guess in the end, does it matter? Does it matter that didn't happen? I don't know really the answer. I just do know that it made me feel empty. And emotionally, it didn't feel very good. So, this is a ramble. going to pause here and re-listen to this. And these are basically my notes for maybe a podcast, thoughts, and maybe I'll release it. We'll see. But basically, it's the idea of things are shifting. There's a lot of uncertainty about just everything in life. There's so much uncertainty. How are you guys doing? How are you handling the shifts, uncertainties? Have you, pivoted? Have you pivoted into something else? Has something changed for you? Are you exploring AI? Are you exploring new realms of how to present your art? How are you connecting? Something different? I've been trying all these different platforms. I've been on Discord. I set up a server. I've been on, Midjourney and, like I said, other AI art generators. And I'm on TikTok trying that, the YouTube. All the things. And I'm just not sure where or how necessarily to connect anymore. And at the end of the day, I come back and I think, what does this all matter? I'm just not feeling like it's going anywhere. What am I doing? I don't know. Uncertainty, every single day. Just keep your head down, be in the work, make the images, be present for that. Be connected to your work. Let the work guide you in times of uncertainty, I tell myself. And it gives me peace when I create something really fun and then I share it, and then the frustration comes from sharing and then not necessarily connecting at all. And I suppose all of the online communications are a bit uncertain. I'm just not sure where everybody's hanging out. I don't know what to do. And I think I hear that echoing throughout different platforms that I go on podcasts I listen to, in, art communities that are online and groups that they have, and just people talking in threads. It's all over, this uncertainty, I feel. I just don't know how we're going to all connect and what's the answer. So I just thought I'd start talking about it. That's basically the gist. We'll see where this goes later. So there's a shift. Things are uncertain. A lot is going on that can cause a lot of anxiety. And I ask myself, what can I do daily to make my life feel more peaceful, find more balance and calm? And what that is for me is to allow space between all the different things that I need to do, between all the minutia, all the creative projects. Instead of, say, jumping from thing to thing, between each thing, I take pause and I put space, meaning time, between each thing before jumping into the next thing. Taking that space, whatever it is, a moment, could be a minute, could be an hour, whatever you're able to pad between each thing. I do think it's important, though, to just pause between everything we do. Because if we can reflect on what we've done and then clear our minds and then go into the next thing, we'll be more present and ready to face whatever it is that we're doing. I know for me, sometimes when I take my moments of pause, I'll also do it in my art journal. And I'll write my thoughts that are swirling around in my head. I'll put them on paper. So it's almost like a way of releasing the noise from my brain. So then if I need to reference it later, I can. But definitely allowing the space to steady myself has been really helpful in keeping me more balanced during these very uncertain days. We all have all the different things that affect our lives and cause stress. And I find the best way to navigate any of these things is to approach it from a peaceful, steady place where you're breathing deep and you're calm in your heart and you can really see things clearly and you're not jumbled up and you're not anxious and you're just in a really peaceful, calm place to take it all in and try to find the best solutions to whatever it is you're facing, whether it be a creative issue, creative problem, or anything with life. It really applies to all different facets of our lives. So, if you think about, say, a pot of boiling water, and when we're frantic and we're jumping from thing to thing, we're like that pot of boiling water. But if we just turn the heat down, pause, you'll notice that the water starts to calm and go still, and all those bubbling bubbles start to dissipate, and our bubbling thoughts start to dissipate when we breathe deeply and we hold, and then we release our breath and we focus on our breath. The thoughts start to quiet. The water goes still. Our minds can go still if we just allow the space. It really works, and it's really helpful. And I hope maybe it might help you find some peace and steadiness in your life. And if you do this as a daily practice, I think it'll help you navigate through whatever it is you're going through. So this has been quite a podcast from jumping from shifts, and I'm sure there can be a lot more discussed on that, shifting times that we're in, to allowing space and steadying ourselves throughout all of these shifts. Well, this has been sort of a return to my podcast. It's been a while. I'm back for at least now for this episode, and if I have something else to say, I will put it up. I'm not going to follow necessarily the season 1, season 2 format. I had a season planned for season 1, so that was season 1. This, I just still wanted to have the platform to discuss and reach out to you guys and have a conversation. So with that said, I hope you enjoyed listening, and as always, you can find me online at Angie Mason Art. You can tweet me, you can follow me on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. I am on all the platforms. And also, as mentioned in previous conversations, I am on Patreon, so if you want to join me over there, your support on that platform really helps me bring my projects to fruition and just helps support the overall ongoing creative life that I'm living. So, thank you for listening. As always, Apple Podcasts and Spotify hosts this podcast. You can also find it on my website at angiemason.com. Well, that's it for another episode of the Clarity Cloud Podcast. Thanks for listening, guys. Take care till next time, and as always, keep dreaming yourselves awake. It's all blue skies and clear hearts from here on in.